So welcome to this end of summer, end of August special edition of the Amsterdam Film Show. My name's Kathy Leung. Now Amsterdam has a ridiculous number of cinemas and film festivals all year round, so there's lots to report on. But if you would like to join in, help us make the show, we'd be interested to hear your reviews, so get in touch with us at info@broadcastamsterdam.nl. And finally, if you want any more information about the films and the screenings that we mention in the Amsterdam Film Show, just go to our website, broadcastamsterdam.nl, and look for the What's On section, the Amsterdam Film Show, and we've also got some Pinterest boards as well. And we're experimenting with this edition of the Amsterdam Film Show. You might be listening to this on podcast or on radio, on our YouTube channel, or on Salto TV. So we'll see how that goes, but we'll keep on producing the Amsterdam Film Show, whatever. So what's in this edition of the Amsterdam Film Show? Well, first, we'll quickly pick out some highlights from the new releases in the cinemas in the Netherlands for the last few weeks of August. So that's the 17th, the 24th and the 31st of August, the new releases hitting the cinemas on Thursdays. We're not going to mention all of the films, we're just going to pick out what we think are the highlights. They're going to be highbrow options and lowbrow options, and we'll give you a heads up as where you might find those, which cinemas, where to find them. Then we're also going to share some of the special screenings and festivals going on in Amsterdam this August. And we've also got for you some exclusive clips from our chat with Raymond Walravens, the curator of the World Cinema Festival Amsterdam. Now he knows so much about World Cinema, he's helped curate the festival since the beginning, and he talks to us about how the festival has developed, how his method for choosing films, the festival, how it works, the different ways in which the audience can get involved, the competition, and how he'd like the festival to develop in the future. So he's got a lot to say on World Cinema. It's great that he took some time to talk to us. So a quick look at the new releases in the Dutch cinemas this August. It's not a comprehensive list, but our picks of the best films to look out for. However, there aren't that many potential Oscar nominations in this lot. They're mainly entertaining options. It's summer after all. Atomic Blonde came out in the Netherlands on the 10th of August, starring Charlize Theron and James McAvoy. Based on a graphic novel, The Coldest City, an undercover MI6 agent is sent to Berlin during the Cold War to investigate the murder of a fellow agent and recover a missing list of double agents. Now, this may sound unoriginal, but if you watch the trailer you'll see this definitely has a different feel. There definitely seems to be an appetite for more female action leads. Screening at the Filmhallen and most of the Pathé chain. If you like your action thrillers with a bit more testosterone, then you might be up for The Hitman's Bodyguard, released in the Netherlands on the 17th of August. Action comedy. There's much of this film set in Amsterdam. There's a speedboat chase down the canals, bridge action, seedy rooms, central stations in the trailer. The world's top bodyguard, Ryan Reynolds, gets a new client, a hitman, Samuel L. Jackson, who must testify at the International Court of Justice. They must put their differences aside and work together to make it to the trial on time. Catch it at the Pathé chain. Here's a taster.
You won't last 1 hour without me. You gonna be a little bitch about it?
Tell us where your husband is.
You lost my husband? That is your job, motherfucker!
The only way Bryce and Kincaid don't make it to so they kill each other first.
Hampstead. Drama, comedy, romance. Starring Brendan Gleeson, Diane Keaton and James Norton. An American widow finds unexpected love with a man living wild on Hampstead Heath when they take on developers who want to destroy his home. Dave Calhoun of Time Out says don't come looking for social realism. This is an unapologetically fluffy film. Now, some of us like fluffy films occasionally, so this is screening in at least the Pathé Tuschinski, Cine Centre and the movies. There's beautiful shots of North London and Hampstead Heath, of course. Here's a little taster.
Hello?
What?
I hope I'm not disturbing you.
Too late for that.
This is an eviction notice. You're living on land worth millions.
They really don't want you here.
It's a shame. If only they got to know me.
Other movies released on the 17th of August are Everything, Everything, a coming-of-age movie based on a best-selling book by Nicola Yoon, and Elvis and Nixon, Kevin Spacey and Michael Shannon star. The trailer's not bad, you know. It's short and sweet, and Kevin Spacey is nearly always brilliant in anything. From the 24th of August, you can catch Logan Lucky. From the director of Magic Mike, it's an action comedy starring Daniel Craig, Channing Tatum and Hilary Swank. Two brothers attempt to pull off a heist during a NASCAR race in North Carolina. If you like your Americana loud and tacky, this is the film for you. It's got Daniel Craig as you've never seen him. Logan Lucky is screening at the Pathé chain. And very exciting, Channing Tatum himself will be in Amsterdam for the 18th of August red carpet premiere before the general release. Here's a taster.
Welcome to the Coca-Cola 600.
How many yards away is the vault?
20 yards. I don't know, maybe 30.
Is it 20 or is it 30? We are dealing with science here.
The Dark Tower, based on the Stephen King novels of the same name. The last gunslinger has been locked in an eternal battle with the Man in Black to prevent him from toppling the Dark Tower, which holds the universe together. So Idris Elba is playing the last gunslinger, and here we have Matthew McConaughey playing the Man in Black. It's got really bad critic reviews, but audiences seem to think it's okay. Walter Chaw of Film Freak Central says, "It's pretty bad, but it's also impossible to hate a movie that has Idris Elba dressed up like Wyatt Earp." It's screening in the Pathé Arena and the Pathé Munt. Also released from the 24th of August, Indivisibili. Siamese twins make money for their family by singing at weddings and more, and it's going very well, until a notable English doctor says he can separate them. It's a stylishly shot Italian drama. We haven't been able to find any screenings in Amsterdam for this film, only in Zwolle, but we hope there'll be some. From the 31st of August, Patty Cakes hits the Netherlands. Following New Jersey pharmacy worker Patricia, otherwise known as aspiring hip-hop artist Patty Cakes, and her band of misfit mates and Granny as she tries to make it big. It's got mostly unknown actors and a director mainly known for music videos, but we're calling this summer's out-of-nowhere sleeper hit with a bitter New Jersey grit. Don't think about the Honey G character from the UK and ignore the mixed reviews. The beats should propel you through. You can find it at the Filmhallen, Criterion and the Pathé chain. Here's a little taster.
Come on, let's get it.
Nope.
Come on.
Patty and Jerry, we will be legendary. I'm in my own trap as I flip the world a birdie. My verse is full of curses cause I'm stuck in dirty Jersey.
I wax that ass like a Brazilian, make a million hits. Left from the black shack like a 10 packs, we up in this bitch.
Who is this Dumbo bitch? You looking like a pig in shit. Have you ever thought once about a gym membership?
I thought I could be someone.
Tulip Fever. Dane DeHaan and Alicia Vikander star as the main romantic leads. An artist falls for a young married woman while he's commissioned to paint her portrait during the tulip mania of 17th century Amsterdam. Christopher Waltz plays her rich husband, and it's a period movie, so what a surprise, Judi Dench makes an appearance.
In 1634, Amsterdam was captivated by a flower. Rich and poor gambled on the tulip market. Sophia was a beautiful orphan, chosen by one of the richest men in the city.
It feels a bit of a cliché. Screening at the Filmhallen, Pathé City and Pathé Tuschinski. American Made, directed by Doug Liman of Edge of Tomorrow and Bourne Identity. Starring Tom Cruise and Domhnall Gleeson. Barry Seal, a pilot, lands work for the CIA and as a drug runner in the South during the 1980s. It's a true story, by the way, and one of the biggest covert operations in US history. Here at the Amsterdam Film Show, we're mainly just loving it for the haircut and the accent. It's quite a haircut and quite an accent. You can catch it at the Filmhallen and the Pathé chain. And quickly, Love is Thicker Than Water, directed by Atta de Jong, the Dutch director of melodramatic Het Bombardement and 1991's Drop Dead Fred. It's a UK millennial realist comedy. Opposites attract when Vida, a middle-class cellist from London, falls in love with Arthur, a working-class bike courier from Wales. But their relationship is put to the test when they meet each other's families and are forced to confront class and cultural differences. Stephen Fry rates this one, by the way. Screening at the Kettle House. If you want to be part of the Amsterdam Film Show, just share a film review with us, get in touch. Email us at info@broadcastamsterdam.nl. Special film screenings and film events for this August in Amsterdam. Dunkirk in 70mm. Allied soldiers from Belgium, the British Empire and France are surrounded by the German army and evacuated by small boats during a fierce battle in World War II. Yes, Dunkirk already came out in standard digital format in Dutch cinemas on the 20th of July, but it's now available to see in 70mm at the Eye from the 16th of August, and it's one of the few screens in the Benelux region that can. There's a Dutch connection too. It's partly filmed in Urk, and also the director of photography is Dutchman Pieter van Hoytema. Now, there's lots of techie stuff online explaining why 70mm film is amazing and how it compares to digital. There's grid illustrations and lots. But Hoytema actually puts it the best and simplest. He says, the resolution of film is basically infinite, and as a result, film still captures much more colour and detail, and anyone should be able to appreciate that. On Thursday, the 24th of August, the Cine Expat series screens Aquarius at the Cine Centre. It's a Brazilian drama with English subtitles, and you can get drinks with the host, Katie Crook, from 8 o'clock in the bar before the 9 o'clock screening. For ages, 65-year-old widow and retired music critic Clara has lived in a beautiful apartment in the Brazilian seaside town of Recife. In her town, she's well known for her music columns and has earned the status of local celebrity. Clara is devoted to her flat in the small apartment building called Aquarius. All that she's been through over the years, together with her late husband and their kids, took place in this apartment. A real estate developer makes her an offer to buy her out like her neighbours, but Clara refuses the offer. But the developers play dirty. Selected for the competition of the Cannes Film Festival 2016. Here's a taster.
Esse apartamento é o apartamento onde vocês cresceram. Isso aqui é feito uma mensagem na garrafa.
And a reminder, Martin Scorsese, the exhibition at the Eye, closes on the 3rd of September. Martin Scorsese, the director of classics like Taxi Driver, Raging Bull and The Wolf of Wall Street, has developed a unique film handwriting over time. Son of Italian immigrants in Little Italy in New York, Scorsese's themes often include family, faith and trust. This is the first exhibition dedicated to Scorsese and gives insight into his work and life and presents a large number of film clips together with over 400 objects and documents from the private collections of Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro. So closes at the Eye on the 3rd of September. You might want to see it in August. Find out more at ifilm.nl. For 1 week only, from the 17th of August, is an award-winning Polish film screening at De Hallen. Body, otherwise known as Cialo, a busy lawyer worried that his anorexic daughter, Olga, might try to harm herself as she's still grieving over her recently deceased mother, sends her to see a psychiatrist who's dealing with her own loss in an unusual way. It's apparently a comedy drama. It has 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. The Pluktenacht Film Festival, 16th to the 26th of August. Alex Ross Perry's Golden Exits, a film set in Brooklyn, is a strong opening movie, but we'll give special mention for the closing movie on the 26th of August. A Korean-born man finds himself stuck in Columbus, Indiana, where his architect father is in a coma. The man meets a young woman who coincidentally loves architecture, but wants to stay in Columbus with her mother, a recovering addict, instead of pursuing her own dreams. There's plenty of beautiful shots of modernist buildings, if that's your thing. And it feels like there's a bit more of a North American feel to the Pluktenacht programme this year, with several US and Canadian picks. It feels a little less quirky than usual and quite mainstream. So where to go? It's really not very far from Central Station. It's outside on the Steenenhoofd. You do need to hope for good weather, but if you do get it, it's really amazing. Lovely atmosphere, deck chairs. It's free unless you want to reserve a seat. You can pay, and you can find out all about it at plukdenacht.nl. And lastly, the World Cinema Festival Amsterdam from the 17th to the 26th of August. It's mainly at the Rialto and De Bali with some free outdoor screenings. Our pick is the outdoor film Esteban. One day, 9-year-old Esteban discovers his talent for the piano. Soon the piano is all he thinks about. He dreams of becoming a concert pianist. His single mum is wary of his wishes. She would rather have him choose an honest trade. Despite his young age, Esteban refuses to be discouraged and perseveres. It's a debut film from a young Cuban director, and there are screenings at Vondel Park Open Air Theatre and then Mary Heinekenplein. The films start once the sun has set around 9:30. That's useful to know. And it's free, but voluntary donations are welcome. See worldcinemaamsterdam.nl for more. And now the Amsterdam Film Show brings you some exclusive clips from our interview with Raymond Walravens, the curator of the World Cinema Festival Amsterdam, and he speaks to our interviewer Nikos Kalousios.
So yeah, we always try with the festival to introduce new talent, and we also do that in competition, not only in the other sections of the festival.
Mm-hmm. But what are these 9 movies competing for? What is the prize?
Well, the award is of course being the winner of the competition, which means a little placard,
mm-hmm.
but it also contains a cash prize of €5,000, which the director can use for his or her next project.
Of course. Who will rate these movies and on which points? I mean, what is it that will make the winner stand out?
Well, with the jury award, because that's the competition award, we asked 3 people to be in the jury.
Mm-hmm.
So they will decide,
mm-hmm.
and they will decide on which criteria they will make that choice.
Does the audience have a say?
Well, there is another award, which is the World Cinema Amsterdam Audience Award, and that is given by the audience.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a film in competition, but it could be any film selected for the festival.
Mm-hmm. How easy does it get to find the right films for the festival?
Well, it's always an interesting challenge, I guess. I travel throughout the year. I travel to 7-8 different festivals in Europe, but also in Asia and Latin America, and in Africa. And so based on that research, and based on the international contacts I have created through the years, people who are like me programming festivals elsewhere in the world, in Africa or in Australia or in Latin America or in Asia, they tip me, I tip them.
Mm-hmm.
So we share knowledge because we know we like the same kind of cinema. And then I have an enormous long list that becomes a short list.
Yeah.
And then I have to decide which films I will put in competition and which films will be shown in other sections.
But then how do you decide on the short list?
Yeah, that's a personal choice.
Do you listen to your own instinct first, or do you also try to listen to the mood or the zeitgeist or the likes and dislikes of your potential audience?
No, of course. I mean, the festival has been started by Rialto,
mm-hmm.
Which is an art cinema that exists now for 35 years in the city. And I've been involved that long as well. So through the years, I always watched films through the eyes of the audience. I cannot look in a different way. Well, I can go to the Pathé to watch a nice commercial film, but I do that for fun. And then I just look as a viewer. But when I select films for Rialto, for the festival, then I try to look through the eyes of the audience. And that's why it's so important to choose films that are universal in their themes. Because you can show a film from an exotic country, but if it's not possible to make a connection with the audience here in Amsterdam, well, then it doesn't make sense. So I always try first to look at the quality, obviously, the way the film has been made, the cinematography, etc. If I connect with the story, with the characters in the film, but then I also think about, okay, will this work in an Amsterdam context?
Is watching a movie a personal experience, or does it become a collective experience once you are at the movies, in the movie theater?
No, I think that's the nice thing of cinema on a big screen.
Yeah.
Not only the quality of the projection and the sound, etc., which you cannot copy that easily at home or on your laptop or your iPhone or whatever, but it is a collective, and especially during a festival like World Cinema Amsterdam, because a lot of the directors are here. They will present the film before the screening. Then they will be available after the screening for Q&A. And that really gives a very alive context, because, and even after the Q&A is done, in the bar downstairs or on the terrace outside, you can continue talk with the director, which makes it a different feeling, I guess. We have 180 different nationalities in the city. We have 100,000 expats living in the city. And we would like all these people to come together and watch films together. When I'm constructing the program, I cannot put more than the 9 films in competition. Mm-hmm. And I'm always sorry, because I always want to do 10 or 11 or 12, but I cannot. We decided 9 is it. Mm-hmm. And in the open air section I can play 4, because there are 4 nights in different locations. And then we have the focus program. And then I always have these films, I think, yeah, but they deserve a place too. So we try to have some extra special attention to these films. If I look back at the first editions, we had some very strong, nice films. I mean, our opening films, and I'm proud to say, are always very strong. Our closing films definitely also are very strong, and we always have found the first-time directors that are really talented and proven after that they are not only talented but really good. So we have been doing a lot of work on introduction of countries' directors, but I think we are getting even better in this. And I also see that Dutch distributors or international sales agents, they now start to trust my taste or the choices we make, and they are willing to give the films that we want to have.
Mm-hmm. And last question, something for the future. As the festival progresses, to what direction do you think it should go to reach the next level, let's say, in the coming years? Do you want more movies in the competition program, maybe? You already said something about that. Do you want films from more regions or different regions you wouldn't expect a movie to be made? Do you want more diverse directors, perhaps? Do you want new, fresh themes, surprising stories? Where do you want to go with it in the coming years?
Well, the funny thing is, of course, that it's not me, but the directors and the future directors decide that. I mean, if somebody's crazy enough to make films in a country where they never made films, like now in some Caribbean islands, then I will follow them. I think I would not like to have a festival that grows in the amount of films. Mm. I would like the trust of the audience to be like, I'm very interested what the quality is this year of the competition. Let's see all 9 of them. That's what I would like to achieve. And for the rest, it's really the directors that decide. The only thing is that I would like to create a bit more connection with the filmmakers in the Netherlands with a bicultural background. We always have some, but I would like to strengthen that, because I think that if we have 180 nationalities in this city, if we have millions of people with or themselves or their parents or grandparents with another cultural background. I would like to see that more in Dutch cinema. And that's maybe one of the next steps that I would like to help stimulating, that those films are made and that the festival can be the platform for them.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're
Raymond.
welcome.
So thanks for joining us for the Amsterdam Film Show, this special edition. For any information on the films that we've mentioned and the screenings, go to our website, broadcastamsterdam.nl, and from there you can follow us on social media and find out what's coming next.